you think being force sensitive in Star Wars is a gift, the Old Republic proves it was actually a death sentence. This was an era where Jedi didn't get to meditate in temples, and Sith didn't rule from thrones. They fought, they suffered, and most of them didn't live long enough to matter. Because the Old Republic wasn't heroic, it was survival at any cost. If you're interested in more videos like this, please like and subscribe so I know what direction to take my channel for you guys. In most Star Wars eras, there's a rhythm: peace, conflict, then peace again. But the Old Republic didn't work like that. War wasn't an event, it was the default state of the galaxy. The Jedi Order and the Sith Empire weren't skirmishing, they were throwing entire generations into the grinder. If you were force sensitive during this time, you weren't trained to find balance. You were trained to survive long enough to be useful. Jedi were sent straight from training into massive battles. Sith were thrown into trials designed to break or kill them. There was no chosen one, there was no destiny, there was only war, and whether you lived through it. Let's start with the Sith, because honestly, their lives were pure hell. In the Old Republic, becoming Sith wasn't about ambition, it was about endurance. You were abused, you were humiliated, you were forced to betray others just to prove you deserved to exist. Advancement didn't come from wisdom, it came from pain. And if you weren't strong enough, you didn't fail, you died. Sith didn't rise together, they climbed over the bodies of those who came before them. Most Sith never became powerful. They were consumed by rituals, by infighting, by ancient spirits that didn't care whether their host survived. Especially in stories like the Sith Inquisitors, where power isn't earned, it's stolen. And every stolen fragment came with a cost. But here's the part people forget: the Jedi didn't have it much better. Yes, they preached peace. Yes, they spoke of balance and restraint. But the reality? They raised children of war. Padawans were sent to fight Sith Lords. Knights were thrown into endless campaigns. Masters fell in numbers the Order couldn't replace. And the Jedi response wasn't reflection, it was discipline, suppression, detachment, even in the face of trauma. The Order demanded calm, while surrounding its members with constant death. And that contradiction slowly broke them. What made the Old Republic truly brutal wasn't just war, it was how force sensitives were treated. They weren't people, they were weapons. They were hunted, captured, experimented on, used in rituals. Sacrificed for power, entire planets were devastated because of force-based conflicts. Not armies, force users. The galaxy didn't fear fleets, it feared what Jedi and Sith could do when unleashed. And that fear shaped everything that came after. No legends, no mercy. This is the key difference between the Old Republic and every other era. There were no legends, no Luke Skywalker figure to rise above it all, no prophecy to save anyone. If you were force sensitive, you were just another piece on the board, and most pieces were disposable. The Sith destroyed themselves from within, the Jedi fractured under the weight of their own ideals, and the galaxy paid the price. Why this era matters? The Old Republic wasn't a golden age, it was a warning. It showed what happens when the Force is treated as a weapon instead of a responsibility. Why later eras fear Force sensitives. Why balance becomes more important than power. Why the galaxy learns, slowly, that endless war only leads to extinction. The Old Republic didn't fail because of one villain. It failed because everyone believed survival mattered more than wisdom. So if you ever wonder why the Old Republic feels darker, more brutal, more desperate, it's because it was. Being force sensitive didn't make you special. It put a target on your back. And most never lived long enough to understand why. Thank you for tuning in, and if you want more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and let me know what you think.